Welcome to Professional Tutors, the British online school. We're a team of dedicated qualified teachers here to help you to reach your full potential. Let's start with our learning. Today's lesson is on states of matter. This is a topic taught in Key Stage 2, throughout the Key Stage 3 and at Key Stage 4 as well. So it's one of the very important topic to put our head around and move our learning forward. Let's look at the big picture. If everything is made up of particles, this is what we say, which are the atoms, and then why some substances are solid, some are liquid and some are gases. So what decides for substances to get solid, some liquid or gases? We know there are three states of matter: solid, liquid and a gas. Let's put our head around on the arrangement of particles. Here is a diagram showing solid. All these red colored dots, if we say they are particles, they are right next to each other in solids. They're close to each other, they're in a fixed pattern. Let's put our head around in a liquid. What's happened to these particles now? They are slightly away from each other. They can move here a little bit. They can slide past between each other. But in solid, this wasn't the case. So what happened in gas? They are very, very far away from each other and they are constantly moving with a very high speed. So all three states, solid, liquid, gas, made up of same particles, but this looks different. This solid structure looks different than a liquid than a gas. So it's the arrangement of the particles that's making them solid, liquid or gas. Let's look at the key definition of it now. So who decides the state of a matter? It's the arrangement of the particles. Second factor is separation of the particles from each other, how far away they are from each other. And a third and the very important part is speed of a movement of the particles. Are particles moving? If they are moving, then how quickly, how fastly they are moving in a substance. So these three factors decide if a substance is going to be a solid, liquid or gas. Okay, let's look at changes of a state. Now, solid, liquid and gases, they can change from one state to another. We know that it's only a matter of arrangement of particles and the movement of particles. So if we alter these two factors, we can change the solid into liquid, liquid into gas, gas into liquid and a liquid into solid. Now when we put our head around this, we need to understand how can we change this state of matter? How can we change these solid to liquid, liquid to gas, or the backward, gas to liquid, liquid to solid? What happens? I put the key questions here for us in order to answer this question. What happens to the temperature and energy of the particles when a state of matter changes? Okay, for example, we start here with the solid, which is ice. Let's have an example of ice, water and a steam. So if we start with the ice, what will happen to temperature and energy? These are the two keywords we need to put our head around, and we must use these two keywords in our explanation. Solid into liquid. What will happen to the temperature? It will increase. What will happen to energy? If temperature increases, energy of the particles will increase and they will start moving slightly away from each other, and that is liquid, and we'll say our ice has turned into a water now. Then we need to put our head around from liquid to gas. We are changing water into a steam. We need to provide what? High temperature. So we heat it. And what will happen to the energy? Heat is energy. So the particles will gain energy. They will acquire energy. And what will happen to them then? As a result of that, they start moving away from each other, and quickly they move fastly, and we'll say that is a gas, and we get a steam. Okay, so when we're moving from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, does the energy increase or decrease? Our answer is it increase. Increases the energy from solid to liquid, because particles need some energy to move away from each other and start flowing, and so energy increase. When liquid change into a gas, particles need to gain further energy so they can move fastly and they can move further apart. So yes, energy level increase. Both temperature and energy increase. Okay, so let's put our head around now the backward. What will happen when we are changing from a gas to liquid? Okay, gas particles got the most energy. They're very far away from each other. They constantly move in because they've got so much energy. Then what will happen when they turn into a liquid? Liquid particles are not fastly moving. They've got less energy as compared to gas. So what happened to the temperature then? It decreased this time. So does the energy. So energy and temperature decrease when it moves from a gas to liquid. Next step is from liquid to solid. Now out of these two, these guys got the least energy. They've got the more energy as compared to solid. So energy and the temperature will decrease further, and particles will lose all the energy, and they will come very close to each other. They will not show any movement, and we'll say it's turned into a solid. Okay, so when we start, if we put our head around with this water example, so we'll say water is freezing now. The process is called freezing. So the temperature and energy of the particles decrease, and we say the process is a freezing. The next process, when you've got a gas into a liquid, that is condensation. It's condensing. We say gas is condensing into a liquid. Liquid is freezing into a solid. And when we say the solid gain energy, and we say solid is melting, turned into a liquid, and our last step is now liquid is evaporating to a gas. Okay, so all these keywords we should be using in our explanation, and making sure that we answering these questions in terms of temperature and energy of the particles. Okay, I've also introduced a little challenge for you here. What other changes of state is possible apart from these? Is there anything else that is possible, which is sublimation? If you've got a gas and you lose all the energy from the gas particles, and so they turned into a solid, that is sublimation. There is no liquid state. You reduce the energy out completely, direct it goes into a solid. Okay, I hope you find this video useful and you've learned from my video. Thank you very much for watching us at Professional Tutors. Thank you.